The next bout on the main card is in the flyweight division. First, out of the blue corner, representing Dream Art in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Ana Rodrigues.
The ADCC Brazilian Trials winner, Ana Rodrigues, makes her Who's Number One debut.
Yeah, had an amazing performance at the trial, so just really scrappy and brings a lot of pressure.
Her opponent in the red corner, representing Atos out of Melbourne and San Diego, California, Adele Fornarino.
Daddy is back on the Who's Number One stage. Adele Fornarino is here.
Yeah, and a very fast finisher. She gets out of the gate fast, gets on the legs, is known to finish very quickly in the majority of her matches.
All right, let's take a look at this flyweight tail of the tape. Adele Fornarino, 24 years old, 5'4", weighing in at 124 pounds. Ana Rodrigues, 25 years old, 5'1", weighing in at 124.2 pounds. This is the number 4 versus number 2 ranked female competitors. This one had a lot of oohs and ahs online. It's gonna be a scrap. Ana Rodrigues, this is her actual second no-gi competition ever. Her first one was the ADCC trials in Brazil, which she won, defeating Jasmine Hosha in the finals. You know, talking to Ana, she told me yesterday she has a real love-hate relationship with no-gi. She feels like there's so much anxiety going to no-gi, but once she's in there, she feels like it's a scrap and she loves that emotion. Adele, on the other hand, coming in here, cool, calm, and collective, had a huge submission win, fastest in Who's Number One history against Amanda Tubby. I'm very excited about this match.
Yeah, and I think that would probably line up with her strategy, get under the legs, and try to create some lift and isolate a leg. She did it very, very well against Tubby. Exceptionally talented opponent, so she's gonna have to deal with a lot of pressure here from Ana Rodrigues, though. Lots of pressure.
Anna's gi game, especially, very, you know, controlling base, very position based, you know, very sweeping with lapels and all sorts of trickery with the gi. But Adele, gi or no gi, very, very, very submission, submission hungry, submission hunter. You know, every time you see Adele, she's always going after the submission. Gi, no gi, close guard, legs, you name it.
She's gonna have to go get a foot. So 1 foot, there, it's gonna have to start there, touching that foot. But it's have to touch or start to hook to start to establish, you know, kind of a quote unquote grip there. She's hooked on, and now she's sort of gotten herself in where she can start getting some grips. And for Ana, she can pick up the feet or she can start stiff arming the trap to get Adele move. So Adele's nice and comfortable here, right? You gotta have her move back on the back of her hips a little bit. I call it the sweet spot in butterfly guard. So it's where your core is completely turned on because your legs begin to shut. Right there, that's that sweet spot. Her core turns on and your legs begin to shut off. And that's a very important part to put someone when you want to start putting pressure to pass. Even if you're moving side to side, their feet start to shut down a little bit.
Ana Rodrigues fighting out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, representing Dream Art. Multiple-time IBJJF world champion, as you mentioned. Brazilian trials champion. Adele Fornarino, actually from Australia, representing Atos Jiu-Jitsu. Adele, you know, is actually asking for a match with Maisa Bastos. So if she gets through this match with Ana Rodrigues, we may be looking for a title match in the future.
Stop!
Rafael Gabriel Martins just stopping the action, just letting them know what's expected here, giving them a little warning. You know, I've been seeing Anna compete since she was a purple belt, and even at purple belt, you're able to identify just this experience level and confidence level that she had, you know, in the gi, competing, you know, Rio Grand Slam, World Pro, all these events, IBJJF. She's just got this aura, this aura of confidence about her. And Adele, same thing, but just different style, you know. And it's very interesting. This is her second only no-gi competition, and she's on one of the biggest stages, won one of the biggest tournaments ever, and now on one of the biggest stages here at Who's Number One.
Trying to get in on a wrist to create some movement towards the left, so she there's Anna pushing Adele in the trap. That's what I'm talking about, is to give a little bit of a push to get her back on the very back of the hips, and then you can start moving the legs. They actually start spinning. You can see Adele post the hands and move backwards to avoid that, and that's a good thing for Anna to start doing, is to get her back just a little, and then then you can start spinning the legs.
We saw Izaki Bayenzi in the corner cam there, coach of Ana Rodrigues. Adele gets to the top position now, attacking the foot of Ana Rodrigues. Anna scooting back, trying to make distance here. Adele going in on that heel right away.
That was nice. It was a very nice way to come to the top.
Judges favor blue.
Ana Rodrigues gets the judges' favor so far.
I don't disagree. She was on top, moving, but now Adele gets to play her top, and I would imagine she's just going to keep on working to get after the legs and test.
Fight. You're here to fight. Let's go, Adele.
Leg defense. So she was able to come right back with her feet.
Andre Galvao in the corner of Adele Fornarino. You talk about somebody who has experience in no-gi. No one has more experience than Andre Galvao. Back to the standing position now. And both of these young ladies had amazing ADCC trials, matches, wins, just scraps, absolute battles. Very impressive. Izaki Bayen is in the corner of Ana Rodrigues. Izaki, one of those, oh, look at that drop to the leg attack right away by Adele. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a Kanabisami. It was a little bit low. It almost turned into a little bit of a bear trap, but it still was able to ground Anna now. She didn't come up with it, but that was a really nice flying attack to almost put her down. In these cases too, closed guard is another exceptional way to get in on a leg versus standing passing attempt. And that's something Adele likes to do, where she could, instead of sitting, just grab an overhook from the standing position, almost allow yourself to be deeply underhooked and just jump side onto the guard.
8 minutes left in this match. Ana Rodrigues trying to play top position. Adele trying to do whatever she can to bring Anna into her game, into her guard. She's looking for legs. She's looking for arms.
Got to watch that. You see that right hand is posted on the hip rather than hugging the body. I think she's just being a little cautious so she doesn't get there's a triangle attempt there if she hugs the body, but
she's staying in this like weird pocket, right, where it's close enough to, she doesn't have a ton of pressure on top, but it's close enough to prevent any sort of really major connections from Adele on the bottom. And I feel like, you know, this is where the experience comes in from Anna. I feel like she's really just trying to frustrate Adele to overcommit, to extend on, you know, to try to attack an arm. And I think that's where we see Anna in the past look for those openings. That's where she sees the back and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see how this plays out. The arm drag attempts there by Anna Rodrigues, A-Rod.
Yeah, she's trying to jump guard now. It looks like she's about ready to go to jump. And this is good. Jumping guard are good in these scenarios if you can get your legs all the way wrapped around, because you can immediately drop under on a leg. Like a K-guard entry is usually pretty standard from the closed guard, especially if you can get somebody to stand up and brace their legs. You can get in on the leg for sure. So if that's what her complete game plan is. And
A-Rod almost had a single leg stack there for a sec.
Yeah. And I think this is where, if she really, you know, you said she's sort of stressed about the no-gi, it's probably that distance. And until you get really comfortable hugging the body and navigating through some of that stuff that could come so fast, that's kind of where that range can be a little intimidating without the gi.
So referee Gabriel Martins is stopping the action. I think he's going to give both ladies a little bit of a warning here and explain, hey, you know, you're going to start getting some penalties if we see lack of action here or progression. Right.
Judges favor red.
Red. Adele Fornarino getting the judges' favor now. So it feels like we're split down the middle here so far. And again, just for you guys at home, the judges' favor is not necessarily like a round. It's just for you to understand who the judges feel like are winning the match if it went to a decision at this very time.
And trying to get that drag. It's just a tiny bit shallow. There's another try to jump, but Adele can't really get in with the overhooks or underhooks, and then that she wouldn't have to jump from so far away. But
I think for me watching this, this is going to be a big learning experience for Adele Fornarino. You know, fighting somebody like A-Rod that's very strategic, who's not overcommitting entries, and, you know, just kind of dealing with somebody that's not trying to really attack you per se, and understanding and trying to, you know, stay calm, cool, and stick to the game plan throughout this whole thing. But like I said, this is where Anna thrives in these final minutes. She knows how to frustrate her opponents and capitalizes on the overcommitments or weaknesses or mistakes that they make. So Adele really needs to be careful here in this last 3 minutes.
Adele's trying to get that overhook.
Penalty for blue.
Penalty for Anna Rodrigues.
Now she's starting to come forward. This is where she needs to be here, but it can also be a little scary without the gi, right? That is to get in there, hug the waist, and then start driving forward. But
The arm drag attempt once again. A little swat with the foot there. We're going to say kick, but...
Yeah. Sort of a tactic when there's points to be scored.
Yeah.
You know, when somebody's pulling, you can swat their foot. Sometimes you get a takedown for that, but...
All right, 2 minutes left. Just over 2 minutes left in this match. This is going to be a tough one to call.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Adele had some submission attempts. Anna's definitely been pushing a little bit on top. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges decide here. Adele with a little fake guard pull there.
There's the close guard. Now,
yeah, and this is where Adele wants to be.
Yeah.
This is where she is very dangerous.
Yeah.
She's got that body triangle wrapped up, but
she has good triangles and arm locks, but this can also bode well to get underneath on the leg if she just scoops the leg if Anna starts to stand up. The body triangle is going to make it harder for her to stand up.
Less than a minute to go. This changes the match here, especially if Adele can get a really strong submission attempt here. But A-Rod is positionally very good. She knows what angles Adele wants to make, and she's cutting them off. She's not giving her an inch. She's keeping tons of pressure. Not the most exciting thing we want to see in the closing seconds, but she's trying to shut Adele down.
Yeah, she's got her head in the inside, her arms on the inside.
Five seconds left. Done! And that is it. So this will be an interesting one. How the judges are going to favor this, I don't know. You know, Anna was pushing the pace heavily for quite a time. Adele initiated a lot of submission attempts. You know, was able to reverse position at one point.
Yeah.
Ended up getting close guard, looked for some submissions. So let's take a look at the replay here. Again, debut for Anna Rodrigues. She was using this, you know, yeah, there's the reversal attempt there by Adele, and then tried to grab that foot right away. A lot of arm drags, and then that flying Kanebasani attempt there by Adele. Big effort by Adele for sure. Had a lot of guard pull attempts there, or fakes even. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges say here.
We have the judges' scorecard. Your winner via decision out of the red corner, Adele Fornarino.
Adele Fornarino is your winner. Again, mentioned big learning experience for Adele. This is going to be huge. This is going to be such a learning experience. It's going to make her such a better grappler. I'd be interested to see her feedback on this match. Let's kick things over to Kendall for a word with our winner.
We've got Adele Fornarino here with not only a win, but some new branding opportunities. You want to show everybody on the camera your hat and the back of your rash guard? Very nice. Patented. Congratulations. How does it feel to get another win here on the Who's Number One stage?
Yeah, it feels amazing. Obviously, being in Austin with such an incredible audience. You know, everybody's out here. Is everybody having a good night? Yeah. I do apologize that it couldn't have been a more interesting match. You know, I wanted to do some jiu-jitsu tonight, but you know, it can be tough when there's not much engagement. You know, it's hard to make somebody do jiu-jitsu sometimes. So sometimes it's just a matter of staying calm, you know, and just pushing through to the end of the 15. But, you know, next time I'm in, I'll put on a better performance and be showing some submissions for sure.
Yeah, we've seen lightning fast submissions from you here on this stage the last time you were here, and we saw a lot of action from you tonight, pushing the pace. Now, in this division, you've got to be having your eyes forward on something next. So I know we've got ADCC coming up in August. You're going to be there putting on a big show, but what's next for you here on the Who's Number One stage? Do you have anyone in mind?
Oh, look, I think that my name's definitely in the hat for some of the belts that are up for grabs. You know, there's Fionn that's holding the 125 belt and Maisa that's holding the 115. And, you know, back-to-back would be awesome. You know, on one card have one match, on the next card have the next match. But it's just a matter of them, you know, signing the contracts. And that's no disrespect to the wonderful women in this division, but it's more so we want to keep them, you know, consistent holding these belts. And if you're holding a belt for more than 2 years, I don't think it's yours anymore. I think you got to fight for it. So that's definitely what I got my eyes on.
Some big call-outs of some big names, and definitely well-deserved. Let's give it up one more time for Adele.
Big call-outs for some big names from Adele Fornarino. Guys, we're going to have a commercial break. And coming up next, we have the middleweight bout between Tynan Dalpra and Jay Rodrigues. We'll be right back, guys.